It's just a sign of the times. It's a positive vibe. Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of PVO Positive Vibes Only Podcast. I am your host, Nakia. Thank you all for joining. First, I want to get into some announcements. The first announcement is the backyard event that is happening in 2 weeks. I am so excited. September 26th. Here in Newport News. We will be there with our tent along with some other small black businesses. Y'all make sure y'all come out to support. The information um, is on the page, and then I will share it again this evening. Thank you to everyone who has emailed me, who has texted me with encouragement, with love, appreciation. Since my last podcast, I've gotten a lot of emails. I've gotten a lot of encouraging words from people in regards to the situation I was dealing with, and I just thank you all. I just smile from ear to ear from every time I read the messages. I really appreciate you guys. We are now at 500 likes on our page. Yeah, awesome. And I'm excited about that. So we are moving up. Our Positive Vibes Only group is stepping up to, I think we're at 250 now. So if you're on this page, go to the group and uh, go ahead and like the group and join the group. We share a lot of positive quotes, memes, and videos, uplifting and encouraging. And the purpose of the group is to have the conversation about positivity, to uplift each other, and to have it there. So if you're having a bad day, all you got to do is scroll through and you'll see a whole bunch of positivity in there, and hopefully it will turn your frown upside down. That is the purpose of the group. Okay, so today's topic, as you can see, is called toxic positivity. It's a thing. I did not think it was a thing, but it is a thing. So, a friend of mine had told me that she was being toxic with her positivity, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. How is positivity positivity toxic when you have a good outlook on the world? You have a good outlook on um, what's going on in your life. So, of course, I Googled it to look it up because I didn't believe it. And it's actually a thing, but it only happened recently because of the pandemic. And the articles that I've read and one of the blogs that I've read, I will tell y'all, I laughed so hard from reading the stuff that was on there where I was like, this is a bunch of mess. But hey, do what you want to do. That's with the line that you want to go with. So, but it was hilarious to me, and in reading some of the stuff they had, it's a dark side to positivity, and you can't be positive all the time. And while being positive all the time, you cannot be, because there are certain things that happen in your life that you have to deal with. And I said that on one of my previous podcasts, that there are certain things in life that's going to hit you, and you have to deal with the emotion. You have to deal with what you're going through. Understand your feelings. We're not pushing aside your feelings. Um, but understand that this happened. This is we got to get through this. Let's work through, how you feel about the situation, but then don't dwell in it. Don't wallow in it. And, don't keep bringing it up, because the more you bring it up, the more upset you're going to be because you're not letting it go. So today is a little different. And I say that each one, but I think each one I'm going to take a different spin on it. But I have the website up, so I may not be paying attention to the camera because I'm going to be reading something. So they give a statement that's toxic positivity, and then a non-toxic acceptance and validation, which is really weird. So I'm going to go with the first one, and I may not go through all of them, but some of them really made me laugh. The first one says the toxic positivity of a situation is don't think about it, stay positive. Whereas the non-toxic and acceptance and validation, describe what you're feeling, I'm listening. So this was a little off for me, because the only way the statement of don't think about it, stay positive would be considered toxic is if the person is in the middle of saying something and you cut them off, or the person is in the middle of explaining their situation or their feelings or their problem to you and you cut them off and just, yeah, get out of here, don't think about it, stay positive. I can see that behavior being toxic. But if we've already discussed it, we've gone through the different stages of grief or whatever it is that you're dealing with, we've talked it out, we've expressed, that we understand your feeling, we understand what you're going through. It can't tell somebody how to feel how they feel. They feel how they feel. But you can't tell somebody to not feel the way that they feel, because it's their feelings. You're not in them to say how to handle whatever it is that hit them. But if you, the positive side of it is, I understand. I see what you're going through. You may even talk to them and finish a thought process or a sentence before they say it, because you may have gone through that before. You understand everything that they're dealing with, all of the different emotions. I remember saying in a podcast that I was in a few days ago, why do I feel this way? Why do I want to punch this person in the face? Why am I dealing with this emotion? And you can't help me with that if you haven't been through it, because you can't explain that level, the level of where I'm at. But what you can do if you're not in the level of where that person is you understand where they're coming from. Do not be dismissive. The person wants to get it out. They want to talk about it. They want to talk to you about it, and that's fine. Now, when you get back to this statement of don't think about it, stay positive, with me, when I'm dealing with somebody that's dealing with a situation, we've talked about it several times. We've gone over the different scenarios several times. We have came up with different scenarios on how to help you several times. In that instance, yeah, I can see what that statement can be toxic, because now it's like, yo, stop, just think positive, get off it. Don't do that. Just think positive, get over it. I get it, because now it's not, the person doesn't want help at that point. That person does not want to be helped in that point. That person just wants to keep on saying whatever it is that they're dealing with, keep on dealing with whatever it is they're dealing with, and they don't want to come up out of it. And in that instance, it can seem that it's toxic, but you don't remember the 50, 11 times where I talked to you and gave you information, gave you advice on how to deal with a situation. And now, because I'm telling you, stop dwelling on it, keep your mind positive, now I'm toxic? Let's move on to the next one, because it gets better. All right. So the next one I thought was funny was don't worry, be happy. That's the toxic positivity. The non-toxic acceptance and validation is I see that you're stressed. Anything I can do. If you see a pattern here, the non-toxic, what is it? Non-toxic acceptance and validation. That part comes before you give the quote unquote toxic positivity. I'm speaking for me. If you're not the person that gives these different types of acceptances and validations, I can understand that. But don't worry, be happy is toxic. Hmm. Let's explore. I see that you're stressed. Anything I can do. That should come with any conversation that you have with a friend. That should come with any conversation that you have with a confidant, with somebody that's in your corner, a part of your circle. That should be, hey, what's going on? Do you need my help? What can I do to help you? That is if you have that in your life. Now, if you don't have that circle and you don't have people who are going to be there for you and give you the information that you need or even help you to find a solution to your problem, then somebody saying, don't worry, be happy, yeah, that could be kind of toxic because, again, they're dismissing you. They're not listening to anything that you said. However, comma, if we've already had this conversation and we've already talked about what was going on and what we're dealing with and all of this, then how is don't worry, be happy toxic? Because now that we've explored everything and you want to rehash everything, rehashing is what's toxic, wouldn't you think? Rehashing and keep going over it and keep talking about it, that's toxic because you're not even trying to get out of the situation that you're not even trying to find a solution to the situation that you're in. Your feelings have been validated. What you're going through has been understood. You've been told, I understand, I know what you're going through. But regardless to what anyone says to you, you want to hash out and keep on talking about the same thing over and over again. You know, my dad used to say, he's the first person I heard say, but I've heard it many times after. If you're sitting down and there's water dripping, at first it doesn't bother you. It's just just a drip. But after a while of that water constantly hitting that same spot, it's going to hurt because it's hitting you. But what if you're the water hitting yourself? Think about it. I'm hurting because I keep on talking about this. I want somebody to understand what I'm going through. But Susie heard you. Michelle heard you. Jan heard you. Bobby heard you. And everybody said the same thing to you. But you worried about the drip when we gave you what you needed to stop the drip or to move away from the drip. But you want to stay in the drip. That's toxic. It's funny, but it is. Moving on. All right, so this one I had to pull out because it actually says positive vibes only. And that is the toxic positivity. And the non toxic acceptance and validation is I'm here for you, both good and bad. Let me say something about that. Um, I'm here for you. If you're my friend, you're in my circle, and I love you and I talk to you on a regular basis, by golly, I'm here for you. But if you want to continue to do bad, you don't want to make different decisions, you don't want to stop doing what you're doing to cause these issues to come, can't be there for you. Now, I can be there for you if you are going through a bad situation. I can be there for you if you're hit with something in that moment. I can be there for you to deal with the death of a loved one, a tragic accident that happened, your house caught on fire, your car got broken into, anything that you could think of being a bad situation. I am there for you, good or bad. But I will not be there for you if you want to stay and wallow in the bad. Because after a while, you got to come up out of it. Because if you don't bring in a positive mindset, how can you get over the situation that you're in? It makes no sense. If my car got broken into, yeah, this is what happened. It happened. Will I be devastated? Absolutely, because now I got to go through a police report. Um, My insurance, I got to call my insurance, and no telling when they going, with the Cora, no telling when they going to come out and fix it. I'm without a car for a minute if they broke the window. Now I got to put plastic on the window, but that's not really deterring anybody from breaking it. They're going to say, oh, open window, go in the open window. So if certain things happen to you in a situation or something just comes on you, I understand. I get angry when someone attacks my character or my integrity when I know I haven't done anything to them or I haven't done anything wrong. That is like an instant. I'm on 1,000. Brooklyn is out. It is what it is. I'm ready to run. I'm ready to roll with you. But because I have my circle, and I always call my circle before I flip out. Hey, hey, I know. What happened? Da, 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 da. Okay, right. And they ask their questions like I do. Ask the questions. And what did they say? And what did you say? And blah, blah, blah. And we hash it out and we get it, all done. And after a while, I feel better because I got it out. I feel better because my circle has allowed me to speak to them. They have allowed me to vent to them. And depending on who it is, I probably only got to call one or two people. Or not even call one person, but if somebody happened to call, then I'm talking to them about the situation, for that matter. But it's really weird that these people are out here talking about toxic positivity and the dark side of positivity. You're defeating the purpose of being positive. There's a situation that happened where a husband killed his wife recently. They were in, a scuffle or whatever. They had some issues, some domestic issues, and he winds up taking her life. That it's not easy to get over. Family members are hurt. Children, if they had children, they're hurt. People who knew you are hurt. But we go through different stages of grief, different stages of being upset, different stages of dealing with certain situations. Now, like I said, death of a loved one, that's something that's hard to get over. But after a while, after you have dealt with your issue, dealt with your feelings, you dealt with what's going on, you asked all the questions of why. Now is not the time to stay in that. It takes a while. Some people it takes 24 hours. Some people it takes 24 years. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but as long as you get up out of there. You never get over the death of a loved one. That's just something that you really can't get over. But you can think positive and start dwelling on the person when they were here, when you spent time with them. That is what being positive and being positive vibes only and taking the positivity out of a negative situation. I am dealing with this situation. And I go back to when my nephew was killed. Yeah, I was in and out. Some days I was great. Some days I wasn't. Some days I cried myself to sleep. Some days I didn't. Talking to other family members, I probably cried, and talking to other family members, I probably didn't. I went in and out. Am I okay with it? Absolutely not, because it's coming up on the anniversary of his murder. Not. But I didn't allow that to keep me down. I didn't allow it to keep me not wanting to move on with my life, not wanting to live my life, because I know he wouldn't have wanted that. So how is it that I'm staying positive vibes only is a toxic behavior? How? I just don't understand it. So I'm gonna go through two more and then I'm gonna give my little spiel like I do at the end. So let's pull up one more. All right, so we did positive vibes only. Oh, this one is cute. Delete negativity. That's the toxic positivity. And then the non toxic acceptance and validation is suffering is a part of life. You are not alone. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's, I think that would be toxic, in my opinion. Yes, suffering is a part of life. Yes, you are not alone. But that doesn't mean you don't delete the negativity. We all go through something. We are all going through something. We are all challenged with something with this pandemic and COVID-19. People have lost their jobs. People are in the midst of losing their homes. There are people who have lost their children. There are people who have died in the fires in California, lost everything that they have. Yes, suffering happens to us all, but we don't wallow in it. I don't know how many times I can say this and be consistent and get y'all to understand. Do not wallow in your suffering. Do not wallow in what it is that is happening to you negatively, because it will bring you down. You won't be able to smile at anything. A baby's laugh won't even make you laugh. Anything that is happy, a happy moment won't even make you laugh, because you're like, yeah, but nobody cares about what I'm going through. No, we've talked about it. Now, if you are an individual who does not have that circle, who does not have the people in their life who can help them, build them up, and help build you up, help get you out of it, find you a circle, find you some people that you can trust, that is going to be on your side and help you out of it. Unless you're just one of those people that want to wallow in it, then again, like I always say, I suggest therapy. But yeah, suffering happens to us all. We all go through different things and different challenges in our lives. But we have to remember to not dwell in it. Now, I got one more, and then I'm because I was about to go on my spiel. Let me give you one more, and then because this is something that I say all the time, and I found it comical when I read it. So the toxic positivity is, it could be worse. The non-toxic acceptance and validation is, that sucks. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Again, back to what I was saying in the beginning. If you have your circle and you have your friends, you've already had that discussion with them. You've already gone through the ups and downs, the ins and outs, the circle conversation. You've already dealt with that. And once you've dealt with that and you've got all your emotions out and you've dealt with everything, you have to think it could be worse. Because it could. I don't see how saying it could be worse is toxic. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. It could be worse. Okay. My car was broken into, but they could have stolen the car and then I don't have a car. My house burnt down and all of my possessions are gone, but I still have my family. None of my family members suffered in the fire. Um, Trying to think of some other one, because there's some tragic things out there that you really can't really. It could be worse. Ha! Job. If you read the Bible, the story of Job, Job lost everything, everything, all his kids, all his money, all of his stocks, everything. He lost everything, but he stayed in a positive vibe. I mean, that's, to me, that's what it was. He never cursed God for what was going on. He never cursed God for taking away everything. And some of the people around him was like, "Why don't you just curse God and die?" He lost everything, got sick, and was downtrodden and whatnot. Why don't you curse God and die? And he's like, "Nope, the Lord will provide. He gonna make sure I have what I need." And in the end, he got everything back that he lost and then some. So it could be worse. Could be. But I think that this whole new thing of toxic positivity is it's a way to, in my opinion, it is a way to keep people clinically depressed. It is a way to validate people who don't want to come out of whatever it is that they're going through. It is a way to open up the floodgates to people who want to be enabled. It is a way to open up the floodgates to people who just wants to wallow in whatever it is that they're wallowing in. It is a sad thing. I thought it was hilarious. I laughed all my life, so it's not as giddy as I was earlier, but I laughed really hard. I had tears in my eyes because that's just weird to me. And I understand we are all going through something, we are all dealing with something. But this is what I want to put across to you. If someone has come to you and you're taking the whole positive vibes side, and you want to push positivity and you want to help people wallow out or get out of their wallowing in whatever they're in, if somebody comes to you and say that you're being toxically positive, or however they want to word it, that your positivity is toxic, I don't think you need to be around that person anymore. Because from the people that I know, if you're talking to someone and you're trying to help them out of their situation, and you're trying to let them know that you understand what they're going through and what they're dealing with, and they start coming at you saying that you're being toxically positive, yeah, that you don't need that in your life, because they're trying to make you feel bad about your outlook on life. And that's not right in any sense. If you're upset, if you're in this situation and you're dealing with something, and I'm coming to you, giving you a positive spin, giving you the information that I believe is going to help you, giving you these different scenarios that could probably help you, whatever, and then you come to me and tell me that I'm being toxically positive, you're the toxic one. And I don't want no parts of it. Do not allow anybody to tell you that you are being toxically positive, because that's an oxymoron. There's no way. Unless that person, like I said in the beginning, unless that person is just shunning you, pushing you aside, like, yeah, 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 get out of here with that. Be positive. Don't worry. Be happy. Why is you doing? If somebody's doing that, then absolutely, I could see where that could be, a toxic positivity. But that doesn't even sound positive in that, don't you think? Don't sound positive at all. I just found that to be, it was funny. It was hilarious. I've read the articles. There's about 6 of them up there that I've seen. I don't know if some more have come out, and they came out recently. The most recent one I saw was in May, and May of this year. And some of the articles take a different spin. So if you want to read up on it, go ahead. If you want to laugh, read up on it. Um, but don't allow what they're saying to change your mindset of what you're already doing if it's working for you. If you are taking the positive vibes route, like I am, and you are promoting positivity, you are helping your friends and your family to stay positive in this otherwise negative world, make sure that you're doing 3 things. Make sure that you're listening. Make sure that you're understanding what they are going through. Don't just listen to respond, listen to understand. And then share in what you're dealing with. And I don't mean you got to tell them all your business. Hey, I've been through that because of X, Y, and Z. I know what you're going through because of X, Y, and Z. And then once y'all have hashed it out and y'all have already gone through everything, you've done your circle conversations, then you can say, positive vibes only. Don't worry, be happy. It could be worse. Because to me, those are not toxic phrases, and it's not toxic positivity. It's the end of our show. Thank you so much. If you have something that you want to talk about, that you want to share about positivity, or an instance in which you have dealt with someone who was, in a negative mindset, and you helped them come out of it, please share, share, share. I love reading the stories. They are awesome. They put a smile on my face. I have 2 things that I have to say before we go. And the first one is, I had put out a post um, regarding free gifts and a shout out. So if you would like to have your name put into a raffle, and I got my bowl, I'll show you my bowl. Okay. If you would like your name to be put in a raffle for a free gift and a shout out at at the backyard event where I will be going live, email me at positivevibesonly518 at gmail.com, and email me either a story of positivity, something that you've dealt with, and you switched it up and made it a positive situation, or a topic that you would like for me to discuss here on the show. I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, I forgot to mention thank you to everybody who was buying products this week. Well, last week, and those have been, I said the encouraging words, but thank you to everybody that has been sharing. Thank you to everybody that has been leaving comments. We have had some messenger conversations. I've had some conversations via Instagram Messenger. So I thank you all for it. I love having the conversations and I love talking about positivity. And I'm here to listen. If you need a listening ear, I am here. So, our featured, let me see if I got this right. Our featured black business, let me see if you can see it, is Essential Body Oils by Margot Bowser. And this is her information, her telephone number, her email address, and she is on Instagram, and she does essential body oils and body butters. And I told you I got a lot of those companies that was at the last backyard event, and I think I have hopefully no, I think I got three left. One, two, yeah. I got three left, so I won't get through everything before the next backyard event. But at the next backyard event, I will have more people to feature on our show. Oh, next week we are going to have a special guest on the show. He will be over the phone talking to me, and we are going to hash out some positivity, put the positive vibes out there, and I want to give you a different spin and perspective on it. You know, most people don't like getting I'll say this: most men don't like getting advice from women or hearing what we have to say. So we're going to have a male's perspective on positive vibes only next week. So make sure that you tune in. And once again, as I say at the end of every show, control the narrative, keep it positive. Positive vibes only. Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.